Visitors to two of Auckland's favourite nature playgrounds, the Waitakere and Hunua Ranges, can now expect to see wire fences blocking routes, new caution signs and compulsory hygiene stations at track openings. The closure of most of the Waitakere forest and 10 tracks in the Hunua Ranges will be enforced from today, and it's part of major efforts to slow a disease-killing kauri. The Minister for Primary Industries has also issued a strict cleansing and monitoring guideline across the remaining forest and open tracks. Eva Corlett filed this report.
So if you are going to a track that is open, it's compulsory that you use one of these cleaning stations.
That's Glenn Brown from the Arataki Centre in the Waitakere Ranges.
To remind yourself and to keep it really simple, it's about stop, scrub and spray. So when you arrive, make sure you clean all the soil off your feet, so give them a really good scrub with the equipment provided, and then make sure you spray them with the biodegradable disinfectant, and that'll kill any of the remaining spores.
He is demonstrating one of the new compulsory hygiene stations at the entrance of the Lookout track near Arataki Centre. It is one of just 23 of 172 tracks in the Waitakere Ranges that will remain open. The spores of kauri dieback disease are spread by soil carried on shoes, and in the last 5 years, 20% of kauri in the Waitakere Ranges have been infected. Everyone entering and leaving tracks will have to disinfect their shoes. Covering more than 16,000 hectares, it's the largest conservation effort in the country. One Titirangi man, Biaki Buck Nielsen, is an avid walker and says the closures will be a loss.
It's a wonderful way to enjoy the nature out here. Whether you run or bike it or walk it, it's always beautiful. And I think it inspires you to preserve it whenever you're out in it.
Auckland Council says 14 new control officers who are ecologists will man both open and closed tracks during daylight hours 7 days a week to ensure visitors are complying with the new rules. Anyone caught willfully disobeying the rules could face a hefty fine of up to $200,000 or a trespass order. The chair of the Environment and Community Committee, Councillor Penny Hulse, says the chances of penalties are small because the public cares enough about kauri trees. And she says the council won't be able to police every track.
The more people out patrolling tracks, the more it costs, and I personally would rather that money was spent on pest control and improving the track conditions. So, our wonderful staff are finding that balance.
Councillor Hulse says the council will review security measures every few months. The council's biosecurity manager, Phil Brown, says council expects to see a 90% reduction in people on closed tracks in the Waitakere Ranges.
We know that we're not going to keep every person out of every track, but we do think that the level of compliance we expect to see will be good for kauri forest, both in the Waitakere Ranges but also outside, because one of our focuses, of course, is around reducing the spread out of the Waitakere Ranges and into other places that don't have the disease yet, such as the Hunua Ranges.
Mr Brown says officers are still likely to be present over the long term. The council says other tracks will start to reopen once maintenance on the tracks brings them up to the new standards. I Waitakere mo te hōtako te ahiahi nei, ko Eva Corlett tēnei.
Now, the executive manager of the Te Kawaro Iwi Tribal Authority and Settlement Trust, Edward Ashby, says it's working closely with Auckland Council. He says the rahui over the wider forested area of the Waitakere Ranges still stands. Now, the iwi is still urging people to stay out of the forest altogether if they have to visit, so you can keep that in mind. And they say people should stick to the kauri safe tracks and, of course, ensure that you have very clean boots.